Skeeter with you once again. If what behind me looks familiar to you guys, this is the on-air studio here at Lincoln's New Rock Alternative 89X. We actually have a newsroom back there through that window. Otherwise, it's practically a reflection of that window. If you remember, last year we did a special feature every day, the first 25 days of March, on the road to WrestleMania 26. It was the moments that define WrestleMania, and every day I made a top 3 list of the moments that define each and every WrestleMania from 1 to 25. And we're resuming tonight as a matter of fact, 6 days away from WrestleMania 27 in Atlanta this Sunday. We're going to talk a little bit about WrestleMania 26, which was on this date last year, March 28th, 2010, from the University of Phoenix Stadium in Glendale, Arizona, home of the Arizona Cardinals NFL franchise. The stadium has seen some NCAA basketball. It has seen a very good Super Bowl. Plenty of great college football games, Fiesta Bowl, especially the national championship game last year between Oregon and Auburn. It was the home for the first time to WrestleMania. Not a very noteworthy WrestleMania. It had its moments, but nothing to me that really was solidified as like a top 10 classic moment. Probably number 1 on my list for this WrestleMania was near probably one of the top 10 or 20 moments in the history of WrestleMania, but it was a good show overall. WWE Hall of Fame class led by the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase, Stu Hart, the father of the legendary Hart brothers, getting inducted. Gorgeous George, Mr. Baseball, Bob Uecker, and the Celebrity Ring. Wasn't the best Hall of Fame class that they had this year. It's a little bit better. Headlined by Shawn Michaels, Sonny, Abdullah the Butcher. We'll get to talking about that on the WrestleMania pregame show on Friday. But WrestleMania 26, pretty solid show. Money in the Bank for the final time at a WrestleMania, because it will not be on this year's card, and there's a pay-per-view in July called Money in the Bank. Won by Jack Swagger, who has went from world champion last year, cashed in Money in the Bank on SmackDown 5 days after WrestleMania, lost the world title at the Fatal 4-Way pay-per-view, I believe, and just went downhill from there. Sheamus, another rising superstar at the time, losing to Triple H, winning King of the Ring a few months later, King Sheamus, then going on a big losing streak, buried by Triple H with a pedigree through the table, among other moments. The long losing streak burying Sheamus, but he's got a United States Championship match this year at WrestleMania. And The Miz, at last year, he was curtain jerking with the Big Show in the opening tag team match for the tag team titles. This year, he's WWE Champion heading into WrestleMania 27 in Atlanta. Top 3 moments of this WrestleMania as I saw them. Number 3, John Cena, Batista, the most talked about rematch for the most talked about match from SummerSlam 2008 between 2 of the biggest superstars of this generation. Batista came out, cameras were flashing like crazy. John Cena had another tremendous entrance. I believe Air Force Sergeant, Air Force drill team came out with their guns, doing the whole little chicanery, flipping the guns around, Cena coming out making his entrance. It was a pretty good WWE Championship match. John Cena ending up with the victory, STF submission hold. Both men went back and forth with their finishers. John Cena in the end winning the WWE Championship. And he's going in for another WWE title reign this year. At WrestleMania 27, 6 years to the day, John Cena won his first WWE Championship at WrestleMania 21, defeating John Bradshaw Layfield. But Cena and Batista, I thought, was a little bit better than the Jericho Edge World title match. Out of the 2 championship matches that they had, Cena coming out victorious yet again at WrestleMania. And will he win the WWE title this year? Number 2, an old rivalry dating back to 1997, November 9, the Montreal Screwjob between Bret the Hitman Hart and Vince McMahon. Bret Hart in Canada loses the WWE Championship, screwed by Vince McMahon, who told the referee, ring the bell. 13 years later, 9 years later actually, Bret Hart inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. About 4 years later, made his return to WWE television in a WWE ring. Patched things up with Shawn Michaels, not so much with Vince McMahon. Great build-up to the Hart-McMahon matchup, which was no holds barred at this WrestleMania. But hands down, in my opinion, Bret Hart, Vince McMahon, the worst match ever. And that counts the Sting-Jeff Hardy match from about a couple weeks ago at Victory Road. This match was a geriatric match. Bret Hart couldn't do much because if he had landed on his back hard, probably would have had a serious injury. Lumberjacks surrounding the ring, the entire Hart family, and that was the worst heel to face turn in the history of wrestling. Vince McMahon buying out the Hart family. We thought the Hart family would screw Bret. Turns out they didn't. Didn't matter. Bret Hart. All this match was McMahon getting his behind kicked by the whole Hart clan. Bret Hart with a steel chair to the back so many times. And the sharpshooter in the middle of the ring gives Bret Hart the victory over Vince McMahon in a match that probably should not have been booked because this was monkey butt ugly and perhaps the worst match in the history of WrestleMania and in wrestling, period. Number one moment. Another high-stakes matchup and a rematch from perhaps the greatest WrestleMania match ever from the previous year in Houston, the 25th anniversary of WrestleMania. Shawn Michaels, The Undertaker. Career versus streak. As I called it, the career, the streak, the sequel. Shawn Michaels looking to end The Undertaker's 18-0 or 17-0 winning streak at WrestleMania. Taker looking to go 18-0 and at the same time retire Shawn Michaels in what was the match of the night. Much more fast-paced, because if you remember the 25th anniversary of WrestleMania, match went half an hour, over 30 minutes. Undertaker picking up the victory. Classic match. This match went around that same formula. The 26th match going around the same formula as the 25th, as the WrestleMania 25 match. And both men, much quicker, much more fast-paced match, almost a half-hour match in itself. Tombstone, no-go. Sweet Chin Music, no-go. Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, two of the greatest legends, both men over 40 years old, letting it go at WrestleMania in the match of the night, definitely, and the main event as well. The Undertaker putting away Shawn Michaels with one final tombstone with authority. Shawn Michaels retires. Undertaker going 18-0, and Shawn Michaels vowing his word he would never wrestle again after this match. Hasn't wrestled. Inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame this year, either by Triple H or Bret Hart, we do not know. Shawn Michaels will tell us soon enough, and we will find out who will induct him into the WWE Hall of Fame this year. And Shawn Michaels, Mr. WrestleMania, he lost, but he went out proving he was Mr. WrestleMania. Well, The Undertaker also proving he is immortal at the Showcase of the Immortals. Will The Undertaker go 19-0 this year if he defeats Triple H? Or will Triple H end the streak? What many others have failed to do. We'll find out. Busy week this week. Kicking off on Friday, WrestleMania 27 post-game report. You'll hear my predictions. You hear the wrestling experts' predictions on who will win the matches and who will win the Brooklyn Dodgers, more importantly. My girlfriend Heather's got the title. And on Sunday night, we will be back shortly around 11 p.m. or midnight with the WrestleMania 27 post-game show, match-by-match results, and you'll find out who wins the Brooklyn Dodgers. And as for me, got about 45 seconds to go before this song ends, so I gotta get back on the air. This has been the Moments That Define WrestleMania 26. We will talk to you on Friday for the WrestleMania 27 post-game show. Have a good week, everybody.